Some people find Red Dead Online to be a chore, a job, a task. Some people even find it ironic that people come home from work to put in a second shift within Red Dead Online. And those jokes are funny, and I do actually think it's pretty ironic just how many people don't see the value in video games when people that are overworked and stressed out and they have lots of assignments to do, they use their free time to engage in tedious, skill-based, cooperative, competitive environments, or really immersive, tedious environments. I would kind of put Red Dead Online in more of the tedious arena, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I guess monotonous is a better word, because tedious sort of implies that it's monotony, but it troubles you. It's like troubling monotony, whereas I kind of just find monotony sometimes to be enjoyable and relaxing. And either way, I get the jokes, and I do see that. People come home from stressful days at work and they hop into Call of Duty. Some people even hop into ranked modes and stuff like Rainbow Six Siege. It's like, I guess you didn't have a stressful enough day yet. But they work as an outlet. You're in a different environment. I'm not saying it's the same as work, but it's interesting because it's not just wish fulfillment. It's not just easy, I press button, numbers show up. There's challenge and conflict there. And in terms of Red Dead Online, it's a grind. If you really want to have nice things, you do have to put in a grind, especially if you want them fast. But it's interesting to me that people consider Red Dead Online somewhat of a job or a chore, and maybe that's because some jobs sort of mimic real-life chores, like, turning in skins and hides and animal parts to the trading company, or, going out and doing collector work, or picking things, or, hunting animals. It's sort of like traditional work, but virtualized, and maybe that's why people are making the jokes, and maybe they don't realize that's why they're making the jokes, because in all reality, what you're doing in Red Dead, you're constantly sacrificing a little bit of, dopaminergic fun for some preparation time, and that preparation time will make your engagements in that game's world way more meaningful later on. It's very cool to watch. It's actually something I love about Red Dead Online, is if I take the time to craft 100 pieces of split point ammunition, I will have 100 pieces of split point ammunition. If I want to, craft volatile dynamite, it takes time, it's tedious, takes my resources, but I'll have volatile dynamite. That's fun to throw at things. Hunting, fishing, cooking, completing boring daily challenges, going to a bar and getting drunk for gold bars or, gold nuggets. That kind of stuff it's interesting. I think it's interesting because it does end up benefiting you later, and that's sort of how Rockstar's online games are, is you put in time as like a sort of investment, and then you come out with new toys or wealth, or just at least a more convenient experience. And Red Dead's way less about getting cool toys and way more about making your moment-to-moment experiences better. Like, go ahead and don't hunt, don't pick herbs, don't cook meat, and then go do something like the new Call to Arms game mode. Around Wave 10, you might be wishing you had some food that could reinforce your health cores a little bit. You do something a little boring like hunt alligators, take their big game meat, put it in your stew, and then reinforce your cores, and then do bounty hunting. The bounty hunting is a little bit better, and that's just how that is. You're just increasing the percentages of how things are or could be better. And that's a lot like real life, and I think that connects to us on a primitive level, but I don't understand the people that sit down in a game like Red Dead, a game as immersive and beautiful as Red Dead, a game that's, in my opinion, at its best when you're cooperating with real friends, or helping them out with something, helping your friend do a trader sale, or helping your friend do a legendary hunt, or helping your friend complete bounty challenges. That's where the game is at its best for me, and yet you have people saying, oh, I'd love to play it, but it's too much of a chore. I feel like those people are kind of short-sighted to some degree. Yes, there is a grind. If you want to have every gun, if you want to have the nicest horse, and that's what your goal is, then it will be a grind, and that might be what motivates you to play. And maybe you do that thing where you complain that it's a grind, but it's the thing that's keeping you playing, so you clearly value it and you clearly want to spend time doing it, so you're being hard on it, but you're really not, upset down to your core. But to the people that are not playing the game, or they resent the game because it's too much of a grind, I'd say you're short-sighted because you're not looking ahead and going, what am I really aiming towards here? What is in Red Dead Online that I need to be progressing towards at the speed in which I'm progressing? How do I win Red Dead Online? Like, what's the point of having every nice thing? I mean, you could have a starter horse and a decent saddle and, I don't know, a Lancaster repeater and you'll be fine. The game doesn't have 50 guns to collect and customize. The game doesn't have 150 horses that all have drastically different speeds and stats. The game doesn't have houses and mansions and homesteads and things of that sort. I wish it did, but it doesn't. There's no flying jet bike with rockets to unlock. There's no nightclub to own. Just play it at your own pace. And I feel like if you enter the game with the mindset of, how do I get all this stuff? You're going to be miserable and it's going to be your fault. Red Dead's design philosophy is in part to, increase server time, which does push it to the top of play charts, and also to maybe sell gold bars to people, which helps fund future development. I mean, you have to understand, all the updates they've added to Red Dead Online have been free. They don't actually have to cost you anything, but if you want to buy gold, it probably funds the development of things like blood money and things of that sort. Honestly, they should add a bunch of really cool shit that costs gold. That way people will buy gold, fund the development, and then we get bigger, cooler updates so we don't have a repeat of, blood money, where it's not bad, it's just incredibly unexceptional. I'm not saying that the best thing we could do is buy a bunch of microtransactions, but Red Dead Online is attached to one of the best single-player games ever made. It lets you get everything for free. So it's not like it's a game that's like, well, you have to spend $20 to be a bounty hunter. No, you'll probably just have to grind a lot of daily challenges and do a bunch of stranger missions in the story and, or wait for a sale on the certain roles and stuff. It's a little less, consumer enemy than people want to make it out to be. But either way, let me just end that little digression by saying, don't demonize people that buy gold bars in Red Dead Online. That money that's going into Red Dead Online is going to be the thing that probably makes the next update. If they ever add homesteads, it won't be an update that cost Rockstar $0 to make. So, I know capitalism's evil and everything, and microtransactions are the devil, but it's not like they're making you gamble. It's not like they're making you open up supply drops or anything like that. You buy gold bars, you get stuff in the game easier because that's what you want to do, and because you're more interested in having stuff than playing for the stuff. And then you help fund the development of future free updates that won't cost you anything. So just, maybe don't bare your fangs every time somebody says buying gold bars. Not buying microtransaction in a game that gives you everything for free is not righteous indignation. You just look like a jackass. So going on from there, you can't win Red Dead Online. You just can't. You're not going to win RDO. You're not going to be the #1 player in RDO. You're not going to own a horse that hasn't been owned before. You should set small, incremental goals. And if you don't enjoy the act of getting to those goals, then maybe Red Dead isn't for you. Or maybe you're just not currently in the mindset for something that's a little slower. So this is what I was saying earlier where I digressed. Red Dead Online's design philosophy is just slower. Like, everything is sort of slower, from the animations and how long it takes to do certain things and how long it wants you to be in missions. I know there's an element of this where the evil capitalists at Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive want to make money, but it's also a pretty, very clearly, definitely obvious design choice in Red Dead to be a little bit more of a methodical game. So if you can't enjoy, the act of looting enemies and hunting animals and picking mint and cleaning your guns and making split point ammo and doing odd jobs and stranger missions and blood money missions and bounties to get money to buy pamphlets and buy horses and buy guns, then you're too goal oriented. Because part of your goal in a game like Red Dead, Red Dead isn't real life. It's not a job. Your goal should not be to stay alive. When you go to your real job or you go to school, it's to better your real life, and that's the goal. Whereas Red Dead, the goal should be the experience. And I know that sounds mushy, but there's no other way to put it. What's the point of having everything in a game you're not taking time in? What's the point of having everything in a game you don't enjoy the moment-to-moment grind of? If you could argue against that for me, try. Because what's the argument you're gonna give me? I really want all the guns and all the horses and all of the most expensive stuff and all the best outfits and all of the roles, but I don't enjoy the moment-to-moment of getting there. It's too long. Well, if you don't want to take the time to get there, what's the point of being there? And if you really think it's too long, but you still enjoy the game, so you enjoy the game, but the grind is too long, then send Rockstar your money, buy gold bars. You'll fund the development of future free updates, so just do that. Well, that's predatory, right? And that's evil on the side of the company, so the company doesn't win, you don't win, you don't enjoy yourself, and then you bitch in my comment section, you bitch on Reddit, you bitch on Twitter. I'm not saying Red Dead lives up to its potential. It absolutely does not. Red Dead Online is a huge waste of potential in many areas, but as a game, it's incredibly solid. And as a co-op online game, it's one of the best I've ever played. So no, Red Dead Online is not a job. You are not in Red Dead Online to have things, because there's no point in aiming towards things if you don't like the act of aiming towards them in the first place. I feel like if you took these people that are complaining, the rational among them would say, I wish the grind was a little faster, that's all. It's not a big deal. And I'd say, yeah, okay, that's not a big deal, that's fair. But then other ones, if I said, what if I could just give you everything in the game all at once? You'd probably say, well, then I wouldn't have anything to work towards. And then what am I doing? I have everything in the game. I have every stable, I have every gun, I have every piece of clothing, and I could just enjoy the world. And maybe some people would really enjoy that, but I think even the people that would enjoy that wouldn't enjoy it very long. So maybe enjoy the grind and embrace the grind and see Red Dead as an experience more than a job. I think you have to put that title on it. I don't feel like Red Dead is inherently a job. I feel like people are putting that title on it because I think their goals are just a little bit out of order. There are rational complaints about the grind in Red Dead Online and the lack of potential it's living up to and the lack of high-end stuff to purchase, but then there's also just whining for the sake of it, and I don't think that's a smart idea. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out and watching this video, and if you like it, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll keep uploading stuff if you guys keep watching it. See you when I see you. Goodbye.